Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Welcome to the day 2 of DevOps course. Can you hear me? If yes, please type yes in the chat box as a confirmation so that you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your confirmations. Thank you for your participants around the world. Thank you very much. Let us stop the chat. So let us stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Kamefa. So let us stop the chat. So what's the plan for today? The DevOps is a set of tools which we'll be learning on AWS platform. So if you want to learn these DevOps tools, if you want to practice, if you want to do hands-on on these DevOps tools, you should have an AWS account. So I'm sure most of you are already having an AWS account. For the participants who are not having an AWS account, let's spend some time. I'll be showing you how to create a new AWS account. And then I hope you will remember the prerequisite for DevOps. The prerequisite for DevOps, you should be good in basics of Linux. So that's the reason we need a Linux environment. I'll also show you how to create a Linux machine on AWS. Okay, I'll also show you how to create a Linux machine on AWS and how not just creating a Linux machine, we'll also learn how can we connect to the Linux machine using the terminal called PuTTY. And if time permits, we'll get into the practicals of Linux also. So this is our agenda for today's session. I have seen many participants raising their hand yesterday. Those who want to talk, please raise your hand. Those who want to give you their introduction, please raise your hand. If you want to have some questions to me, please raise your hand. We can have a talk now for a couple of minutes and we'll get into the agenda of our today's session. Good evening, Sesha. How are you doing? You're from which location in your experience, please?
Good evening, sir. I am from Kakinada.
Okay.
Sir, may I know, is this training is helpful for beginner level or associate level?
This training is from beginner level to medium level of DevOps.
Okay, sir.
Okay. This training will give you confidence so that you can project approximately 2.5 or 3 years of experience resume. Okay. And you can confidently attend the interview for DevOps role. Okay. To that level of training, starting from the basics. Okay.
Sir. Okay, sir.
To the medium level.
I am a fresher, which is passed out in 2023.
Okay. Okay.
May I get any job?
You can try for DevOps, no doubt, because see, so if you are if you see DevOps is something very new, okay, you can definitely try your chance. There are a lot of opportunities in DevOps. Even freshers are also required. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Please follow our Telegram group. We'll post some job openings in the Telegram group also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Yogesh. How are you doing? Your location, your experience, please. Can you hear me, Yogesh? You have to unmute and talk. By default, you will be on mute. You have to unmute and talk.
Hello.
Yes, Yogesh, how are you doing? We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, sir. There was some technical issue. Sir, I'm from Mumbai, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, my work background is related with the AEM. Basically, AEM, it's Adobe Experience Manager.
Okay.
So basically, this platform, we are using the website. We are developing and maintaining our client website, our US based.
Okay.
But last 10 years, I'm working on this side.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to switch to DevOps. So I'm a very fresher, sir. I have no idea about the DevOps. One of my friend last year told me, just 1.5 years before, and he suggested me to join your group.
Okay.
But
so from 1.5 years, you are in our group.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm literally fresher, sir. So please help me and guide me. What is the training? What is the practice
No
for that?
problem. No problem. No problem. Not only your case is not special. It's like many other cases. Okay. You can definitely shift your technology. There are many success stories. Yogesh, your friend is also referred our institute, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your friend also working in DevOps?
Yeah, sir. He working in Bank of America.
Yes, I think he is our old participant
Yes, sir.
from our
He
old
suggested me, sir.
batches. Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
we have a lot of success stories with this. Okay,
Okay.
few things you need
Okay.
to keep in mind: dedication,
Okay.
perfectly understanding the concepts. From my side, I make sure. From my side, I make sure whatever I'm delivering is very clear. Okay, you'll have
Yes,
access to
sir.
the recordings. After accessing the recordings, you have to practice.
Yes, sure,
Okay,
sir.
so if you
Yes,
consistently focus for next 2 months, okay, you will
yes,
be
sure, sir. Sure.
confident in the DevOps tools. Okay,
Yes, sure,
all the
sir. Thank
best.
you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank-
Final call with with Pavan Bharati.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
How are you, Pavan? Your location, your experience?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. And I'm basically from Belgaum, Karnataka location.
Okay,
I'm working as a network engineer from
very
past
good.
8 years.
Wow, very good.
So,
Mhm.
so many of my
So
friends,
you are involved in firewalls, switches, routing, and all
uh,
that stuff.
I'm taking care of like wireless devices and
Wireless devices.
switches. Yes,
Wow. Okay.
switches.
Okay.
Not completely into like core routing,
Mm-hmm.
but part of the routes.
Very good. As
Yeah.
you know, Pawan, now slowly industry is going towards cloud, is it?
Yes, exactly.
So there's
So that's the interest I'm getting.
so
Yeah,
clients, I mean, there is no need for maintaining physical hardware in our premises. Everything is
exactly,
configured on cloud. So
exactly.
we also need to adopt the new things in the technology, Pawan, for our
Y-
career,
Yes, yes, yes.
isn't
And
it?
this DevOps is most demanding.
Most demanding.
Yes, yes, career
Because
right now.
first, one more important point, you are having 10 years of experience in networking.
Eight
Okay.
years.
8 years, whatever.
Yes,
Now
yes,
we cannot go into programming.
exactly,
That is ruled out.
Ex-
We cannot learn Java, Python, and all that because that comes into coding and development.
exactly.
So, what is the available option we have? No, non-development stream, which is good, doing good, is DevOps.
Operations and yes,
DevOps.
yes,
Okay. So,
exactly.
learn this DevOps course. Are you aware
Yes.
of AWS also? AWS platform.
Little. I have little knowledge about it.
Okay.
How to create the instance.
After learning DevOps, please also spend some time
Okay.
enroll for exclusively AWS Solutions Architect. We have one course design.
Okay.
Once you are perfect in these two courses, you can confidently switch your technology. Okay, for
Yes, yes,
better
yes.
career, for better opportunities, for better packages. Okay.
Okay. Yes, I have one query.
Yeah.
Can we doing live projects also here?
Yes. See,
Okay.
we already have completed 4 projects.
Okay.
We'll have some workshops coming
Okay.
up. Okay,
Okay.
so it's all live training. It's not a development job where we can develop some the CRM tool or something like that, right? It's all about use cases, Power. You know how exactly the
Exactly.
requirements will be there, isn't it? So
Yes,
understanding the
yes.
requirements, configuring,
Yes.
working with
Yes.
tools like when should we use DevOps? What is the purpose of Ansible?
Yes.
Okay, how
Because
is
in
Jenkins?
interviews, I have checked some of the interviews. They are asking for the like hands-on experiences.
Correct.
So
So this is
that's the
all
reason.
live training. So this is all
Okay.
some real-time point of view training. Okay.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
you'll
Sure.
enjoy it and you have to understand. You can
Yes.
easily understand. Not a problem. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Yeah, thank you.
How did you came to know about our institute? Is it also through reference?
Yeah, through reference itself.
Okay, may I know who
Yes.
referred to your friend?
No, one of my friend, he's also still not doing, but he checked in YouTube and he referred me like so and so. He checked some of videos, so he seems, and I was also looking for like courses. So
Okay.
I have joined your WhatsApp community, and through that I have joined you.
Okay. Thank you, Pawan. All the best.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So let's have plan for agenda. Okay. Please, very important points, participants. DevOps is a collection of tools. Okay. Set of so Git, Maven is a build tool which is included in the DevOps methodology. We have Jenkins. Okay. We have Ansible. We have Docker. Okay. We have Kubernetes. So these are set of tools we have now. So there are set of tools. These are tools. All this set of tools, we can learn it on AWS platform. Tools, we can learn it on AWS platform. The same set of tools will remain the same. The same set of tools, we can learn it on Microsoft Azure. Same set of tools, we can learn it on GCP, Google Cloud. Tools will remain the same, my dear participants. The behavior, the commands, the results, the configuration, everything remains the same. But on platform, we are learning is, I have to be very clear to you. All these set of tools we'll be learning on AWS. That's why this course is called as AWS Devops. The title of the course is AWS Devops. The meaning of AWS Devops is DevOps tools on AWS platform. If you learn this set of tools on Microsoft Azure, then you are called as Azure DevOps. If your friend is working on DevOps, okay. So next question, generally in the interview they'll ask you on which platform you are using DevOps. Then you should say it as Azure DevOps, or you should say it as AWS DevOps. I am an AWS DevOps professional. I'm Azure DevOps professional. I am GCP DevOps professional. So the tools will remain the same. On which platform we are learning the tools is very important. Our course is a DevOps course, which will be on AWS platform. That's why it is called as an AWS DevOps course. We will not learn AWS here. AWS is a different course. AWS itself is a 30 days course. We don't learn. AWS is having close to 15 services, important. We will not learn 15 services of AWS. Only 5% of AWS, which is required for DevOps, we'll be learning here. Okay. So anyways, if you're zero in AWS also, not a problem. You are welcome and enroll for the course. Clear? So we are learning this set of tools. Okay, we are learning this set of tools on which platform, my dear participants? We are learning on AWS platform. So you should have an AWS account. We'll be installing Jenkins on AWS. We'll be installing Ansible practicals of Kubernetes, everything on AWS. So we should have an AWS account. Okay, I already have an AWS account. Let me log into AWS. I want to log into AWS. The URL is aws.amazon.com. I already have an AWS account, so I'm logging into my AWS. I already have logged in. That's good. Let me open from the scratch. I already have an AWS account, so I am logging into my AWS. We have to log in. With email address and the login password. Done. I have successfully logged into AWS. This is the AWS homepage. Now, what especially for people, if you have a question, what is AWS? AWS is collection of services. Can you see we have services? These are all the services, participants. These are all the services what we have in AWS. So AWS is a platform which is collection of services. Not more than that, it's collection of services. Like Gmail is an email service. Google Drive is a storage service. It's a platform for, it's a services. WhatsApp is communication service. Like everything is a service. Okay, so AWS is a platform which is collection of services. That's it. So I already have an AWS account. So I have logged into AWS account. If you're not having an AWS account, let me log out. If you're not having an AWS account, here we have clicking on sign in. Scroll down. Here we have an option of here we have an option of creating a new AWS account. If you're not having an AWS account, click on this create a new AWS account and you have to follow the step-by-step process. I already have documented. Participants, I have clearly documented the steps to be followed for creating a new AWS account. So I'll be sharing the document to you. Okay. I will be using that document. I'll be showing you how to create a new AWS account. Now I'm showing you how to create a new AWS account. If you want to create a new AWS account, point number one, you should have an email address. Okay, all of us are all of us are having an email address. That's not a problem at all. We should have a mobile number. Very good. We all are having mobile numbers. That's not a problem. If you are having two mobile numbers, if you're maintaining two mobile numbers, please use the mobile number which is linked to your bank account. If you are having multiple mobile numbers, few participants are using multiple SIM cards. Please use the mobile for creating a new AWS account. You should have a mobile number which is linked to your bank account. Next, you should have a debit card or credit card. All of us are credit card could be difficult, but all of us are having debit card. That's good. You should have email address. If you have email address, if you have mobile number which is linked to your bank account, if you have a debit card with you, that's it. These are the three details which are required when you want to create a new AWS account. One more important point, your debit card or a credit card should be enabled for international transactions. Okay, by default, your debit card will not be enabled for international transactions. Very simple, you go to internet banking, go to cards. There's something called enable international transactions. Please enable it. You can enable from your internet banking, you can enable it from a mobile app. So please make sure that you have a debit card and your debit card should be enabled for international transactions. If you have all these details with you, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. As I told you, the URL is aws.amazon.com. This is a URL. You have to log into AWS platform. I have clearly documented it. I'll be showing you this document. Step one, I have clearly step-by-step process. I'll be sharing this document to you. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Yes, very important point you have to observe. The AWS account which you are creating now is free for 12 months. The AWS account which you are creating now is free for 12 months. So please take the 12 months of free tier access and you can learn this free tier access is more than enough for us to practice DevOps. So it's a free for 12 months. Okay, you have to create a new AWS account. Step one, what you have to mention, as I told you, you have to, as you can see the screen, you have to mention your email address. This is the login password of your AWS account, not the email password, login password of your AWS account, or preferably maintain the same password. You have to select your AWS account name, click on continue. So the first step, what you have to do, participants, the first step, you have to provide your email address. This you have to mention it in step one. This you have to mention it in step one. Once you complete your email address, once you complete your login process, step two, it will ask your mobile number. Please observe here. As I told you, I think it is very visible. It is asking your mobile number here. But before asking mobile number, very important. AWS will ask you what type of account you want to create. Do you want to create a professional account or personal account? Participants, we are creating an AWS account for our personal use, for our learning purpose. Am I right? We are creating an AWS account for our personal use. Select it as personal. Provide your name, provide your mobile number, provide your right country. I have seen many participants providing India mobile number and selecting the country as the US. It's not the case. Provide your mobile number, provide your right country, provide your address. Okay, so you have to provide. So this I have mentioned in step two. So mobile number and country, you have to mention it in step two. Step two. Obviously, step three is the next thing. Is the card details you have to enter. Debit card or both will accept. Please observe here. Don't think that only credit card is allowed. As you can clearly see, you can enter your credit card. All debit card is also accepted. Please make sure the debit card is enabled for international transactions. So enter your debit card, enter your expiry date, card holder name. Okay. Scroll down. I provided my details. Do you have PAN? You don't need to furnish the PAN. Next, when you provide your details, it will check whether the debit card what you have entered is correct or not. You get an OTP and 2 rupees will be deducted from your account. 2 rupees will be deducted from your account just to verify whether the debit card details what you have entered is correct or not. You need to enter the OTP. You will get an OTP to the mobile number, which is linked to your bank account. So please you enter the right OTP and validate your debit card. So you'll get one OTP. You get the OTP to validate, to verify the debit card. You will get one more OTP to verify whether the mobile number what you have entered is correct or not. You have entered a mobile number in step 2, right? That OTP you'll get it. So second OTP, scroll down. This is one more OTP to confirm your identity. So you will get a one more OTP to provide. You get one more OTP to verify your mobile number what you have entered. So second OTP, one OTP for debit card validation, one more OTP to verify your mobile number. Next. AWS provides 3 types of plans. AWS provides 3 types of plan: basic plan, developer plan, and business plan. Only basic plan is free. Participants, only basic plan is free. So select the basic plan. That's more than enough for us. So select the plan type as basic. Select your role, whatever the role of your interest, and select your technology. Just click on submit. Perfect. You get a thank you message saying that the account has been created. So participants, this is the steps you need to follow. It is very, very easy. I'll be sharing this document, which I have shown it to you for you. So you can also use the document for creating your email, create your AWS account. Please go ahead and create a new AWS account. Once you complete the AWS account creation, you get an email. You get an email saying that your AWS account is successfully created. After 8 hours, you will get one more email saying that your AWS account is active. Email account creation is different, account activation is different. First, the account gets created. You have to wait for maximum of 8 hours. Sometimes within 4 to 5 hours, you get one more email saying that your AWS account is activated and you can start using your AWS account. Okay, clear? So this is the steps you need to follow. Please proceed and complete these steps. There are a lot of YouTube videos also explaining you how to create a new AWS account. Refer to the videos, refer to my document. Please go ahead and create a new AWS account. Please respond in the chat box. My dear participants, am I clear in explaining you the process of creating a new AWS account? Please respond in the chat box. I think it's very simple and easy, especially participants. I'm focusing on the participants who are not having AWS. Majority are having AWS account, but I'm talking about only the participants who are not having AWS account, so that all will be on same platform, so that we'll be going ahead and creating a new AWS account. Thank you very much for your responses. Next. So we are done with our agenda of the first point, creating a new AWS account. Next. In the yesterday's session, in the day 1 of previous session, I hope you remember. I hope you remember, come to the last slide. In the course content, the prerequisite is Linux. We all should be very good in Linux. Okay, so we have to have some basic understanding on Linux. Participants, I hope you know, I hope you remember, all the students who pay for this particular batch, you will get shell scripting videos absolutely free. Okay, so if you pay for this particular DevOps batch, you get the shell scripting videos, not now. Once the demos gets completed, once all the payments will be completed, we'll get the right number, and then we'll be sharing that shell scripting videos to you. Okay, that's also very important. So the only prerequisite is that we should be good in Linux. So that is the reason we have to be very good in Linux. Okay, so let's spend some time learning about Linux. I cannot learn Linux. I cannot show you Linux here because it's a Windows operating system. Can I practice Linux here? No, I cannot practice Linux because it's a Windows operating system. So what our plan? Our plan is to create a Linux machine. We can create a Linux machine. This is the AWS platform. In the AWS platform, our plan is to learn Linux. So as our plan is to learn Linux, we will be creating a Linux machine on AWS. You can create any machine whichever you want. You can create a Linux machine. You can create a Windows machine. You can create a Mac operating system on AWS. whatever the operating system you want. You can create Mac system also, Apple Mac operating system. You can create Linux machine. You can create Solaris. Any operating system you want, you can create it on AWS. But what is our plan? Our plan is to learn Linux. So I'll be showing you creating a new Linux machine. Okay, perfect. Let's learn the process of creating a new Linux machine. Log into AWS. AWS is a collection of services. That's all. Don't think more about that. You'll understand soon once you start using it. AWS is a collection of services. Our plan is to create a Linux machine. So let's log into AWS. This is the AWS homepage, participants. This is the AWS homepage. AWS is a collection of services. If you want to see list of all the services, click on the search option, or you can click on the services. These are all the list of services. There are services related to web and mobile application. There are services related to game development. There are services related to machine learning. There are services related to blockchain technology. Okay, there are services related to robotics. There are services related to mitigation and migration and transfer, media related services. Hell lot of services we are having, close to more than 300 services we are having in AWS. Out of all these services, we will be using a service called as EC2. EC2 is a service. What is the name of the service? EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 is a service. Using this service, we'll be creating Linux machine, or you can create a Windows machine. Any machine, any operating system, if you want to create it, you can use a service. You can use a service called as EC2. So under home page, under go to services, under services, can you see we have a heading called compute? Under compute, then it's a service concept called EC2. Okay, go to services. Under services, we have a heading called compute. Under compute, there are a lot of services, but what is the service? What we need is a EC2. Instances are nothing but the machines. How many instances I'm having? Right now, I'm having only one instance. Only one machine I'm having. I am using this machine for morning 6 o'clock batch. I am already having one machine, especially if you're newcomers, if you're completely having new AWS account, you'll find 0 machines here. It's empty. Now what I'm doing, I'm creating a new machine. I'm creating a new machine. New machine is nothing but new operating system. What operating system you want to create? Linux machine. Okay. I'm showing you how to create a new Linux machine. I'm showing you how to create a new Linux machine. When you're creating a new Linux machine, few points you need to keep in mind. Points you need to keep in mind. The point is, what is the hardware configuration of this Linux machine? How much RAM is this Linux machine? What is the hard disk of this Linux machine? What is the storage of this Linux machine? How many processors this Linux machine which you're planning to create? What is the hardware configuration? You should be very clear. If you're planning to buy a new laptop, isn't it? When you want to buy a new laptop or when you want to buy a new desktop, you go to a computer peripheral store. Obviously, you'll ask, what is the configuration of this laptop? Isn't it? You ask it or not? Yes. In the same way, when you're creating a Linux machine, you have to be very clear what you want. Do you want a Linux machine of 8 GB RAM? Do you want a Linux machine of 4 GB RAM? Do you want a Linux machine of 100 GB hard disk? Do you want a Linux machine of 50 GB hard disk? You want one processor in this Linux machine? You want 2 processors? Do you want 4 processors? Everything you can customize. That's the cloud. That's the beauty of cloud. Any configuration you can do it. Clear? So I just want to be aware of it. So we are creating a new Linux machine. When you're creating a new Linux machine, what operating system? In Linux, there are different flavors. Do you want to create Red Hat Linux? In Linux, we have Red Hat Linux. We have Ubuntu flavor of Linux. We have SUSE Linux. Isn't it? A lot of Linux, CentOS is also one flavor in Linux. So all this we have to be clear. So my point is, we will be creating Ubuntu operating system, Ubuntu flavor of Linux. We'll be creating an Ubuntu operating system. Okay. And our Ubuntu machine is having 1 GB memory. Memory is nothing but RAM. A very small machine. That's enough. 1 GB RAM. 8 GB of storage. Storage is nothing but hard disk. 8 GB of hard disk. And 1 CPU, 1 processor. This is the hardware configuration of the Linux machine which you're planning to create. Let's proceed. Launch instances. Instances are nothing but machines. Can you see right side? We have an option of launch instances. Number of instances, write it as 1. If you want, you can create 5 instances also. It's up to you. You can go ahead and create 5 instances. You can go ahead and create 100 instances also. I want to create as of now only 1 instance. What is the name of this machine? Machine name can be anything. It can be your name, my name. Let's have a meaningful name. This is the name. I'm writing it as Linux batch 530. This is the machine name. Machine name can be anything. As I'll be using this particular machine for the batch 530 PM batch, this is the name of the machine. You can write your name or any name. You can write it. That's okay. Next is operating system. Can you see? When you're creating a machine, obviously you have to select operating system. You can create Mac, as I said, you can create this like you can create Mac operating system, you can create Red Hat, you can create a Windows operating system, you can create a lot of options. There are a lot of options available. You can browse for more operating systems, but let us stick to our plan. My plan is to create an Ubuntu operating system. I'm selecting it as Ubuntu. Operating system, I'm selecting it as Ubuntu. In Ubuntu, there are a lot of versions here. Ubuntu 24 version. There are a lot of versions here. You can see here. When you select an operating system, you'll get a lot of options. When you select Windows also, you get a lot of options. Windows. When you select Windows also, you can see here. Windows Server 2022, 2019. Isn't it? Okay, 2019 with SQL Server. There are a lot of operating systems. 2022. Coming to our case, in the same way, when you select an Ubuntu, there are a lot of operating systems available, versions. Ubuntu 24 version, Ubuntu 22 version. There are a lot of versions available. But very important observation, out of all these options of versions we have in Ubuntu, can you see there are only 2 options which are eligible for free tier. Ubuntu 24.04 is eligible for free tier, 22.04 is eligible for free tier. Are you understanding? So there are only 2 options eligible for free tier. I hope you remember when you have created a new AWS account, we have created a free tier account. So don't think that it is free. You can use it all the options. Only it is free. You are restricted to only free options. If you select any other operating system, you have to pay for it. So that's the reason. Let us restrict ourselves to free tier eligibility. I will be using Ubuntu Server 24.04. Okay, Ubuntu 24 version. Scroll down. Instance type. Instance type is about hardware configuration. Okay, so the hardware configuration, what is the instance type? The default instance type is T2 micro. The default, did I select this? No, it is a default one. The default is T2 micro. The meaning of T2 micro is 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU is the hardware configuration. You may have a question, Sunil, 1 GB RAM is very less. I want a 8 GB RAM or you want a 4 GB RAM. You can change the instance type. Scroll down, you can see here. You can see 2 GB RAM here. This one you have 4 GB RAM option. You can see 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM. The more you scroll down, the bigger hardware configuration. But these are all not free tier eligible. Have you observed? These are all not free tier eligible. The only option is T2 micro. T2 micro is eligible for free tier. That means the Linux machine which you are creating, it comes with 1 GB RAM and 1 processor. Scroll down. You may have a question, what about the hard disk? Hard disk will come down in the next option. Keep it very important. When you create a new Linux machine, it will ask you to you have to create key pair. When you create a Linux machine, you have to, or a Windows machine, you have to create a key pair. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. You have to create this key pair. You may have a question, Sunil, why should we create a key pair? Key pair will help you. This PEM file will help you for connecting to the Linux machine. Not just creating, you have to connect to this Linux machine and practice Linux commands. Not just creating the Linux machine, you have to connect to this Linux machine. For connectivity purpose, this key pair is used. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. Let's experience it. So you have to create a new key pair. So here I have an option of creating a new key pair. Key pair name can be anything, my dear friends. Key pair name can be anything. Key pair name is nothing but the file name. Okay, I'm naming it as my name, Sunil KP. With today's 5:30 p.m. batch, so I'm writing it as 5:30. This is my key pair. Key pair format. It can be PEM file or it can be PPK file. I am selecting PPK. PPK stands for PuTTY private key. I'll explain this later. It's not PEM. You can select PEM also, but let me modify it. I'm selecting what file, not PEM file. I'm selecting a file extension .ppk. I'll explain. Anyways, you'll see it every day. We'll be creating a lot of PEM files and PPK files. So I'm selecting PPK, create key pair. So when I say create key pair, it is downloading. Can you see here? What file is downloading? PPK file is getting downloaded. Where you want to download, it's up to you. I want to download in D drive. There's a folder called Sunil. In this particular Sunil folder, not Sunil folder, in E drive. In E drive, there is a folder called Today. In this Today folder, I have created one folder for 5:30 p.m. batch. In this particular 5:30 p.m. batch, I am saving my PPK file. Okay, perfect. It is saved. Let me show you where it is saved. A file. What is key pair? Key pair participants. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .ppk. Can you see the file extension .ppk file? Where is the location of the PPK file? The location of the PPK file. Let's take a note of it. This is the location of the PPK file. Okay, this is available in my personal laptop. Okay. So when you're creating a Linux machine, remember you have to create a key pair. As key pair is already created. Next, scroll down. Network settings, take the default settings. Storage is nothing but the hard disk. This comes with 8 GB of hard disk. That's okay. We are done. You can see the summary, participants. You can see the summary. Summary is we are creating number of machines, instances, and nothing but one machine, which is a Ubuntu operating system, which is a T2 micro instance that comes with 1 GB, 1 CPU, and 8 GB of hard disk. That's okay. This is eligible for free tier. Go ahead and create a launch instance. Launching the instance, that is the machine is getting created. You can see success, the machine is successfully created. Scroll down. View all instances. View all instances, nothing but view all machines. Previously, there was only one machine. Now this is the new machine. Can you see it is in pending state? This is the new machine which you have just now created. It is still in pending state. It will take 1 minute time for the machine to get into running state. Previously, there's only one machine. I have created a second machine. The second machine is in pending state. It will take 1 minute. Let's refresh. Let's wait for the machine to get into running state. My dear friends, this is the second milestone of today's session. First, we have created a new AWS account. I have shown you how to create a new AWS account. Second thing, what we have learned, we have created a new Linux machine in the AWS account by using a service called as EC2. Am I clear? Please respond in the chat box. First step is creating a new AWS account. Once you are ready, second step, we have learned the process of creating a new Linux machine in the AWS account. Perfect. Yes, we have done it. should not take this much time for the machine to be created. Just take 1 minute. So let's wait for this machine to get into machine is pending state. After pending state, it will be into running state. Okay, perfect. So we are done with creating a Linux machine. Once the machine is ready, we should also learn how can I connect to this Linux machine. How can I connect to this Linux machine? I have a question, participants. Where is this Linux machine created? I have a question to you, my dear participants. Where is this Linux machine created? You may have a question, Sunil. It is very simple. Why did you ask this question? This Linux machine is created in AWS account. So you are right. My question is, where is this AWS Linux machine created physically? Where is this Linux machine created physically? You may have an answer. Sunil, what do you mean by physical? This is all cloud. Everything happens on cloud. So there's no physical machine as such. We have created a Linux machine of 1 GB RAM, 1 storage, 1 CPU, and 8 GB hard disk in the AWS account. You are right. My question is, my answer to this question is, this Linux machine which we have created is in Mumbai data center. AWS is having data center in Mumbai. There is a cloud. Physically, there should be one location where the RAM should be available, hard disk is available, isn't it? Cloud is anywhere accessible. That's the concept of cloud. But physically, there should be one location where the hard disk and memory and processor is allocated to you. So you can clearly see AWS, the Linux machine which we have created is in Mumbai data center. AWS is having data centers worldwide. If you can click on this, AWS is having data centers in Singapore. The same easy Linux machine, if you want, you can create it in Singapore. You can create it in Canada, Europe, US, any location worldwide. I have selected Mumbai region. Okay. I have selected for my account, I have selected Mumbai region. So if you're creating a new AWS account, please take a note of it. Make sure, remember in which machine, in which data center you are creating the machine. Let's say if you shift to Singapore, I'm shifting my connectivity to Singapore data center. I want to use the data center of Singapore. It's like, sure. Sign in. EC2 instances. You can see this machine has taken, now is into running state. Very good. In Mumbai, I can switch to Singapore. It should not give me a problem. Should not take this much time. Let's try to switch to some other region. Not Singapore. I want to switch to California. Okay, I'm not sure why we are unable to switch. Let me go back to our Mumbai data center. Yes. So we have created Linux machine in Mumbai. The point is, the next agenda is, how can we connect? How can we connect? I am based out of Hyderabad. Okay, I am based out of Hyderabad. Now my plan is to connect. I have already created Linux machine. My plan is to connect to this Linux machine. How can we connect to this Linux machine? If you want to connect to the Linux machine, you need a terminal called as PuTTY. You need a terminal. Most of you already are aware of it, especially for the participants who are completely new. Focusing for that, please bear with the participants who are already having this knowledge. We need a terminal. In my personal laptop, I need a terminal called PuTTY. So using this terminal called PuTTY, we'll be connecting to the Linux machine, which is running in Mumbai data center. So first step, what you have to do in your personal laptop, you have to download PuTTY. So go to Google, download PuTTY. Take the first site. Looks like my network is very slow. Yeah. You can also go to the second site. Yes. So this is the official site, chain.greenland.org.uk. So take the first option, 64-bit. You can select this first option. I want to download it in downloads folder. It's an MSI file. Preferably go for exe file, not an MSI file. Select this option, putty.exe. Exe file, go for exe file. Don't use MSI file. Let me delete this. So go for exe file. So this is the terminal. This is how a PuTTY looks like, especially for newcomers. What is this PuTTY? PuTTY is a terminal which is used. PuTTY is the terminal. This is the terminal which is used to connect to the Linux machines. Okay. So what are the details we need to enter? If you want to connect to the Linux machine, terminal is ready. We need to enter some details like username and password. What are the details to be entered? If you want to connect to this particular Linux machine, go to AWS account. I want to connect to this Linux batch 30. Select this machine. The machine is in running state. Very good. Click on connect. Click on connect. When you click on connect, go to SSH client. There are 4 tabs. Go to SSH client. Pick up this user at DNS. Pick up this value. What value you have to pick up? You have to pick up this value, user at DNS. Okay. Copy. Mention that under the host name, user at DNS. And do you remember when you have created a Linux machine, you have downloaded a key pair. Where you have downloaded key pair? The key pair you have downloaded is E drive today folder DevOps 530 folder. Yes, E drive today DevOps 530. This is the folder which you have file you have downloaded, PPK file. I told you this particular key pair is used for connectivity purpose. As now we are connecting, we have to upload this PPK file in the PuTTY. So you have provided user at DNS, go to connection, go to SSH, go to authentication, go to credentials, and a private key. Can you see private key is nothing but PPK file? So click on browse. E drive today folder DevOps 530 private key. You have to upload the private key. Click on open. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes. Participants, we have, please observe, we have successfully connected to the Linux machine. I am based out of Hyderabad, and from Hyderabad, I have using the terminal called PuTTY. I have connected to the Linux machine, which is somewhere running in Mumbai. You can see the IP address. Let me increase the font size. Perfect. 172.31.36.96. You can see the IP address here. One 172.31.36.96. Are you getting the IP address? Successfully, we have connected. We have successfully connected to the Linux machine, which is somewhere running in Mumbai data center using the terminal called PuTTY. I'll show you one more time. Exit. Open the putty.exe file. Under the host name, provide user a DNS. Go to connection, go to SSH. Authentication credentials, upload the PPK file. Open, that's it. You have successfully connected. So this is how we will be connecting to the Linux machines, okay, on the AWS cloud, and we'll be practicing all the DevOps tools. Clear? Okay. So we now know how to go ahead and create a new AWS account. We also know the process of creating a Linux machine on AWS. We also know how to connect to the Linux machine using the terminal called as PuTTY. The first point, I want to create a file. Let's get started with Linux. I want to create a file. The name of the file is F1. I want to create a file in Linux. The name of the file is F1. So we can quickly do that. We have a command called cat. Cat is the name of the command which helps you to create a file. The syntax is cat, use greater than symbol, mention the file name which you want to create. This helps you to create a file. Look at this. Let me increase the font size. Let me increase the font size. Cat greater than, I want to create a file. What is the name of the file? F1. So the file got created. Write some contents into the file. For example, good evening. Welcome to DevOps batch. Thank you. This is the 3 lines of content I want to write in the file F1. How to come out of the cat command? If you want to come out of the cat command, Control D. Control plus D is the key sequence. So I use Control D. Yes, I'm out from the cat command. I'm done with creating a file. I'm done with creating a file. I want to create one more file. Cat greater than, I want to create one more file called F2. Write some contents, whatever you want, write it. And how to come out of the cat command? Tell me, Control D to come out of the cat command. How many files we have created? 2 files we have created. F1 and F2. How can we see the list of all the files which we have created? We have a command called ls, stands for list. We have a command called ls, stands for list, which will help you to see list of all the files which you have created. I'll be running the command called ls. As you can see, we have files F1 and F2. You can see the files which you have created. I'm done with showing you how to create a file. We have created 2 files, F1 and F2. Once you're done practicing, what you have to do? First, you have to disconnect the connection. Are you understanding? First, you have to, we have created a connection, right? You have to disconnect the connection. How do you disconnect it? By using the command called exit. We have a command called check some network issue. We have a command called exit, which helps you to disconnect the connection. Yes, the connection got disconnected. So exit is used to disconnect and close the terminal. After closing the terminal, don't log out of AWS account. Here we have an option of log out, sign out, but don't log out of AWS account. This is the Linux machine which is running. As you're done practicing, what you have to do, stop the machine. Stop. Don't log out when the machine is in running state. You have to stop the machine. in your laptop after working your day-to-day work, we'll stop the laptop, right? We'll switch off the laptop in the same way. Stopping is nothing but switching off. And whenever you want, you can again start it. We have an option of instant state where you can start the machine, you can restart the machine. Right now, the machine is in stopping state. After stopping the machine, then we have to log out. Whenever you want, you can again start the machine. Okay, starting and stopping is the way we have to practice. My dear friends, am I clear in explaining you today's agenda? Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you today's agenda? I have shown you how to create a new AWS account. I also shown you how to create a new Linux machine. You also know that is a terminal called PuTTY, which is used to connect to the Linux machine. We have to get started with Linux. We have just learned how to create a file and how can we see the list of all the files. Much more Linux commands in tomorrow's session. What's our plan tomorrow? What is our plan tomorrow? Tomorrow, complete session on Linux commands. I'll be a little fast. Okay, I will be referring some document also. I'll be sharing the document. This session is recorded. I'll be a little faster tomorrow. We'll be covering set of Linux commands, which are very, very important in basics. That's our plan for tomorrow. Complete session is on Linux commands. That's our plan for tomorrow's session. Tomorrow is day 3. Even day 3 is also a demo class. I hope you are done with day 2. Let's wait. Generally, it should not take much time. Today, it is taking more time. Okay, so remember always you have to stop and start the machines once you're done practicing. Chia Osin, how are you doing today? Welcome to the sessions.
Thank you.
May I know your experience and your qualification and your location?
Yes, I'm in the US. Currently I work in clinical research, but I've kind of developed interest in IT. I've had classes, I've taken AWS classes with Mr. Ankit and also Mr. Srinivas. So I'm trying to, yes, so I have a very good understanding of AWS cloud. So I'm trying to get knowledge of DevOps as well, so that I can maybe build a career for myself. Yeah.
All the best. All the best.
Thank you.
I hope you have enjoyed AWS course by our instructor, Mr. Ankit and Mr.
Oh yeah, it was
Srinivas.
wonderful.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sure you'll equally be satisfied with my training also. Okay.
Hopefully. Thank you.
So you also got to know through reference about our institute?
Yes, I got a reference from a friend that was so many years ago. Yes. So it's actually through a friend of mine that I got the contact for Logic Lab.
Thank you, Chia.
Thank you, sir.
Continue the learning. Thank you very much. Good evening, Akin. I can see your hand raised. Akim, you have to unmute.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, Akim, how are you? Your location, your experience.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm calling from UK. I have experience in an infrastructure, data center on premises, and network security.
Please repeat again.
I have experience in IT infrastructure, cyber security,
wow,
and data center as well.
Okay.
But because I'm always doing my data center on premise, but now everything's now moving to cloud. That's why I'm trying to have experience in cloud, AWS cloud.
Good.
So my issue is that when I'm creating my AWS account, after inputting my information, the next thing is asking me to confirm my identity, to input my phone number. So if I put my phone number, it will tell me I will get a code, and I couldn't get any code. And I've been battling with this for many months now before this program starts. So I don't know if you can be of help or what I need to do regarding that.
Did you select the right country?
Yeah, I put United Kingdom.
Okay,
So
did you have to use your country code +44?
Yes, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I put in the phone number, I should put +444, right?
Yes, it should also. It
Okay,
should
I
also
put just
try
ordinary local
try
number.
it, or you can send a mail to support. Okay, they'll help you too.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all, my dear friends. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Much more communicate. One more. Oh my God. Sorry, Deepak. Yeah, Deepak. Yeah, your volume is very low. Yes, please proceed.
Actually, I have joined earlier your sessions, AWS, but I couldn't able to continue. So I want to continue from this batch.
You're talking about DevOps, or
Yeah,
you're talking about AWS?
AWS Devops. Yeah.
You please send an email to support. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Our team will reply to you. Yes, Sai.
Am I audible, Sunil?
Yes, Naga Sai. How are you?
Yeah, Sunil. So I would like to share with you and all other participants one moment.
Okay.
I think back in 2021, I've joined your AWS beginner course. So after that,
When
I
did you
got
join?
back
long
in
back.
2000, very long back. I think
Oh,
2.5 years ago.
okay.
So after I joined your first class, I literally got very much interested on the networking part, especially. And I have explored myself on the AWS a lot. And
Okay.
based on that knowledge, I got placed into one of the IT company in the Bangalore.
Okay. Is that
So
your
currently,
first IT job?
no. Earlier, I was working in the Infosys.
Okay.
So while I was taking your call, yeah, well, I mean,
Mhm.
while I was attending your
Session.
training session back in 2021, I was already working in the Infosys.
In which
So
platform in Infosys you're working on?
actually, basically, I'm from the mechanical domain. So somehow I got to know about your training sessions, and I got interested in the IT domain. So I want to switch into IT domain.
Oh, from
So
non-IT to IT.
yeah, from mechanical domain to completely to IT.
Okay.
So after I joined till now, I'm in the same company. I mean, um, the Bangalore company which I placed you after I took a session from you.
Okay.
So I would like to thank you for all the
Thank you, Sai.
assistance and the training classes which you provided me.
Thank you very much.
So today I would like to
Now,
explore more on the AWS along with the DevOps
okay.
and Terraform also. Last time I missed your training session, which is AWS with Terraform.
Okay,
So
okay.
now,
Oh, I used to take that. Okay, no problem. Okay. So thanks, Sai. This kind of feedback will give me encouragement to give more to participants and learners. Okay. This is not only encouragement for me, this is encouragement for our co-learners who are and they are, as you know, many participants, their aim is to get into IT after completing their education. Huh? So thank you. And this kind of feedback will encourage me to give my best in the delivery.
definitely, Sunil.
Thank you,
Definitely.
Sai.
Thank
Happy
you
to
very
know it.
much.
That's all, my dear friends. That's all for today. Our tomorrow session is day 3. Day 3 is also same demo using the same Zoom link. Please complete the payment formalities if you want to do that. I'll show you how to make the payment. You have to go to the website logiclabstech.com. This is the URL. You need to go to the upcoming batches. Can you see we have upcoming batches? If you want to complete the payment, you can do now, or you can also do it tomorrow after the session. So this is batch number 317, and this is a WhatsApp community. If you want to join, please join the WhatsApp community. Zoom link, you already have it. That's the reason you are here. Payment link. So here you can make the payment. International participants needs to make the payment from credit card. Local participants, they can make the payment using debit card, Google Pay, or UPI, or any other transaction. It's 6,490 rupees only. You will get access to the recordings as well as notes and PowerPoint slides, which I'm using in the trading. Okay, including you can click on buy now, click on checkout, and you can log in with your Gmail account and complete the payment formalities. Okay, so that you'll have access, and you can also avail the shell scripting recorded sessions also for free. See you tomorrow for complete session on Linux commands. Have a good time signing off. Thank you very much.